Okay, hello, Texas FFA. My name is Alejandro. I'm the executive director of the Texas FFA Foundation, but I also had the pleasure of serving as the Texas FFA President in 1985-86. And during that year, I got to meet a state senator by the name of Bill Sarpalius. And he also was a past State FFA President. And then we connected with today's state president, Blake Mills. And so we thought this might be a very unique opportunity during National FFA Week to talk about a little tradition that a lot of people may not know about, and that is the tradition of the State FFA President's ring. And that ring started with Bill Sarpalius. So Bill, would you mind sharing, how did you come up with the idea of the State FFA President's ring?
Well, I had an FFA ring just like many of us did, but I had this bad habit in speaking that I would twist that ring on my finger. And that year when I served as FFA president, we were given a car and basically a credit card, and you traveled every day. You went and spoke to, 5 to 8 schools a day. And you would speak into high school assemblies and also meeting with FFA members and chapters and FFA banquets and all those type of things. Well, every time I'd speak, I'd twist that ring. Well, one day I was speaking to an FFA chapter and I was twisting my ring and I looked down at my ring and the idea hit me. And what it is, I just challenged those. That time we didn't have girls in the FFA. I challenged those boys. I said, I'm going to pass this ring on to the next State FFA President. And hopefully he'll pass it on to the next one after that. And I gave the challenge. I said, maybe one of these days you can wear this same ring. And so after, I used that as a prop in talking and encouraging boys and girls to try to strive to become State FFA President. Well, at the State FFA Convention that year was in Fort Worth, Texas, I took my ring off and I gave it to Murray Edwards, who was the next State FFA President, and gave him the challenge to take the ring and travel throughout the state and encourage other kids to someday wear that ring. And of course, he did the same thing, and it started a tradition that went on up until the time when Aaron, when you got the ring.
I'll tell you what, Bill, I'm going to kind of skip around here a little bit, and I'm going to bring Blake into this conversation. Blake, what does the tradition of this ring, and I'm going to share here in a second about the ring that you have, but tell me just a little bit about, leading the organization and knowing this rich tradition of this ring. What does that mean to you?
I'll tell you what, to have the opportunity to speak to both of you, past state presidents, it is honor in itself. And I'll say that it is a true honor. I have the ring with me right now, the state president's ring that's been passed on. And to think that this ring has been worn by 35 presidents is pretty neat, to say the least. But it's just a testament and a symbol that the organization, Texas FFA, has been evolving for years. And so each president that's received this opportunity was elected for a purpose in each year. And to say that you asked me 8th grade freshman year that if I would have been state president of the Texas FFA, I would have laughed at you because I would have never imagined it. But I think it's just, like I said, a testament to the core values of what FFA has to offer. I had a lot of people that believed in me, and I can't take credit for all this. I get to serve alongside 11 of the really neatest individuals. And so although I might have this title, it's a team effort to serve the organization, but it means a heck of a lot to be able to wear this and know that, every school that we go to, I try to find a student or a group of students and encourage them and say that, and I bet that both of you can attest to this, is that your point A does not define your point B. So no matter where you come from or whatever your stature is, whenever you kind of start FFA, does not mean that it's going to end, you can end on a greater note. and you can strive to be something pretty incredible. And I can say that both of you had an influence on my life because I wanted to strive to be better and build up my community. And so this ring shows a lot of tenacity and a lot of that, the strides that have made those that have come before me to get to this point in the organization. And that there's a lot of pride in that, and there's a lot of honor. And I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to continue this great tradition, though. And I challenge students to, they could one day have that opportunity to wear the ring like you challenged students before. And I think that shows a lot of promise because it challenges them to go above and beyond and go above their circumstances and kind of do something pretty incredible. And to think that, the state president's position isn't one size fits all. There's all kinds of individuals that are elected each year, like I say, that are to serve this organization. And who would have thought that, our team this year would have served during a pandemic or some excruciating circumstances. But I think that allows students to kind of get curious, and they want to strive and be successful and be proud of where they're from and kind of challenge themselves to kind of reach that level. But yes, I've had a lot of opportunities where students have asked about it, and I've really dug a little bit deeper and challenged them to do so.
Good.
Well, going back here, and let's talk about that ring that you do have. The State FFA Convention, the 58th annual convention, was being held in Amarillo, Texas. Now, what made that unique was that was the first time it was ever in Amarillo. And so the first time the convention's in Amarillo, I'm serving as the State FFA President from Boys Ranch. And we have a state senator from Boys Ranch who started that ring. And I remember sitting there looking at the ring and how proud I was to know that I was one of, 18 state presidents that had wore that ring. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice someday that maybe another Boys Rancher can wear this ring? And so I thought this ring needs to be on proud display in Bill Sarpalius' Senate office, which later went on into his congressional office. But we presented him that ring with the understanding that his initials would be engraved in the new ring, along with my initials starting the new ring. Now, that was crazy, Blake, when you said that now that ring's been worn by 35 state presidents. So, Bill, think about that incredible tradition. And Blake, I agree with you. All of us stand on the shoulder of those that have gone before us. And there's no doubt that life is not a solo project. We couldn't do this without our teammates. And like you said, Cal Farley always said, it's not where you've been, it's where you're going that counts. But there does have to be a leader. And somebody has to put that ring on, and they have to know that there's a great responsibility that comes with it. But more importantly, as Bill said, a challenge to those who will come after us to make it better than what we did. Bill, how important, real quick, I know we're running on a tight timeline, how important is legacy?
Well, the FFA is founded on legacy. We have different things within the FFA that is what makes it what it is today. Leadership skills, and I can talk all day on that. But the ring, what it started at, is a challenge. It's a challenge for every FFA member that someday they might be able to wear that ring. Now, it's unfortunate that over the years that it's been worn, it has begun to wear out. And we have talked about at times, Aaron, I've taken my ring and the ring that you have and melting them down and making a new ring and maybe call it the President's ring. And then hopefully into the future, some of you that are watching this video today will wear that ring. It's a tradition that's going to be, hopefully will go on for a long time.
Blake, one more question for you. If leadership was easy, everybody would do it. But somebody's got to step up in the plate and say, I'm going to do it. Blake, what would you tell somebody about stepping up to the plate and taking on the responsibility of running and serving as State FFA President?
Well, if I had that opportunity to tell someone, I mean, thinking back on my own experiences and coming, like I said earlier, if you were to ask me if I'd be in this role about 4 or 5 years later, I wouldn't, unfathomable. But the cool thing about it is that, like I said earlier, no matter where you're from or wherever you start in FFA, whether you get a late start or not, you have the opportunity to step up in your community and do something pretty incredible. My own community and my own chapter of Centerpoint, it's a small 2A school in the Texas Hill Country. FFA really wasn't a big deal at all. And so through those experiences, and like I said, people that believed in me, my ag advisor and my family and my siblings and everyone that was behind me in the community, they allowed me to kind of develop some skills and some talent and kind of harness my talents and understand that FFA gives opportunity to all. And people are always asking, who is going to lead us in the future? How are we going to power, the United States, our country? How are we going to feed it? How are we going to clothe the country? A lot of those answers come from the future, and that's in FFA. And people ask all the time, they have said, who are those leaders? We're the leaders. The future is. And so if I had the opportunity to tell someone that's trying to, embark on the journey of being a Texas FFA state officer and then maybe having the opportunity to be the state president one day, I would tell them that no matter whatever they're facing or whatever it is, just to continue, like you said, leaving a legacy. What are you going to leave Texas FFA with? What are you going to bring to the table that changes us and makes us involved and get better in this organizational development? And I think time and time again, that speaks true, because we have a duty and an honor to give back to the FFA, to the thing that's gave all three of us the opportunity to flourish and give us a future. And I just challenge everybody, those of you that are watching that have, dreams and goals, that you can be here one day. And I challenge you because no matter what, with the right support and you work hard and the diligency, you have the opportunity to do so because people are depending on you to step up and be a leader.
Excellent, Blake. Well, we'll wrap this up by saying there's some behind the scenes stories of that ring that would blow you away. That ring has been lost in lakes and found. It's been left in bathrooms and recovered and at gas stations. There is an amazing journey that ring's on. But let me say this in wrapping up. That ring has been tarnished, Bill. And even the one that we gave you after 18 presidents was pretty worn. Yeah. And I'm willing to bet, Congressman, I bet that in your attic or somewhere, you got a bunch of plaques and a bunch of trophies that you probably accumulated over the years. And I guarantee you, every one of us, those trophies are worn, they've got dust on them, and they may be even a little tarnished. But Blake, you said it pretty good, and I'm going to end with this. To anybody that's watching this right now, you're an FFA member. You are the trophies of the Texas FFA. Don't sit on a shelf and collect dust. Don't be tarnished. You got folks like the Congressman there and like the state president, Blake, and myself, that we believe in you. And we want you to shine bright and never tarnish. Never grow weary, because somebody is depending on you to be all that the Texas FFA represents. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Mr. President, thank you for serving. And to all of you members out there, thank you for joining us. Teachers, thank you. This is a unique little behind the scenes tradition, but I hope that this gives you some insight into the passion and purpose of how that ring started and what we hope it represents into the future. Thank you all for joining us.